Hi, how do you go about solving problems? How important are facts, what happened, the sequence of events, and how important are feelings? How did you feel inside every step of this situation that you experience as a conflict? That's what I'm going to talk about today, comparing the two approach, more facts focused and more feelings focused. My name is Lara. I work as a coach and as a therapist, and I especially support women that want to feel more self-confident and empowered. When we have a problem, a situation that we experience as problematic, that is frustrating us, something we really often like to do, to find a solution, of course, is to talk about it, to tell someone else exactly what happens, all the facts, who said what and when, in which sequence, and what triggered what. And by doing that, we do mainly three things. We want, for one, we want to explain how frustrated we are. We want the other one to sympathize, to see our point, maybe to see together with us if there is a solution that can be found in analyzing all facts and all sequence of events. The second thing we tend to do in this situation is to see the blame, the responsibility in the other. So to blame someone else for having triggered the situation, for having behaved in a certain way, for having had a certain tone, or not having, for having done or not done something that was. And the third thing that is also a bit the result is that we are extremely disempowered. We have a sequence of events where the blame is someone else or the responsibility is somewhere else. We are not responsible. That may be a bit of a relief, but we also don't have anything, any kind of power, any kind of responsibility, any kind of accountability to be able to solve the situation. The solution is in the other person to change his behavior, to change his tone, to make amends for what he has done. And that's completely outside our control. It's something we can just keep complaining about. So this is a really often used system, strategy, but it doesn't really give much results. Something else you can do, something else I suggest you may want to consider another perspective, and that is the feeling perspective. So looking at how you felt in the situation. You are in a problematic situation, there is a trigger, you get frustrated, what's happening really? What do those specific words or deeds that are originating the problem doing with you, triggering within you? And by going there, what the other have done is not that important anymore. You get in contact with you, with yourself, with what the situation is triggering you. And that's a place where you are still maybe not responsible for the facts that happens for the situation, the unfolding of the situation, but you can take responsibility for the way you feel. And you realize that the way you feel is actually the only thing that matters. Because if you were a different personality or in a different day, in a different situation, and those events would have not triggered those negative feelings in you, that situation wouldn't even be a problem to start with. And by doing that, you are empowered, because that piece, your own feelings, is something you can control. You can feel how it is, you can feel how you want it to be, and you can do something about it. So an example, the situation, imagine a situation, you go to the office, you're telling your friend the situation. I came into the office that morning. The first thing, I see the face of my manager in the distance, and I see he's angry. And then I see him marching towards me. And I already know that's not going to be a good start of the day. And then we start this conversation that is really aggressive, and he uses a certain tone. And I try to give my part of the story because I don't think he's right. And because of his tone and because the aggressiveness, I don't manage to even put my point across. So now I'm completely frustrated. I don't feel I can even go back and start a new conversation about the topic because of the tension that is created. And here I am. I have a problem and I don't have a solution. His tone, his behavior had created it. Unless he comes spontaneously to apologize, there's nothing I can do. That would be the way you look at the situation from the first fact-only perspective. The same situation looked at from a feeling perspective. You could describe it as, I came into the office, I saw in his face that he was really angry. I saw him marching towards me and I felt so scared. I was so surprised and so scared. And then we started this conversation and I got more and more scared and confused because I didn't understand why all the commotion, why it was communicated like that. And then when he started to say certain things, I felt so rejected. And I was so difficult to feel so rejected that to protect myself, I had to find some kind of judgment, something to, not to feel the judgment towards myself. I put some on him. And then at the end, when I realized that it had gone so out of hand, I felt so disempowered, so sad, so powerless. So the story is the same, but now you are in contact with how miserable you felt, and you are really clear that there is something going on inside of you. And maybe you can also feel that the reason you get so scared or so, you may feel so rejected, it's a bit wider than what is happening at that moment. Maybe there is also some vulnerability. Maybe certain kind of situation are a bit of a trigger for you. And you can say, hey, this is me, this is my history, this is who I am. What do I want to do about it? Do I want to feel less easy to trigger? How would I want to ideally, in an ideal situation, wanted to react to a situation like that? Say, for instance, I would like to, if I had to come again in the office and be in a situation like that, I would like, by seeing him and seeing him approaching, so marching, be able to say, hey, I see you're really upset and you need to talk to me about something. Why don't I come in your office in 15 minutes with a cup of tea and we can sit down and talk relaxedly about what's going on. You can tell me your concern and I can see how I can help you. That's just an example of how you may want to realize you want to react on a feeling level, more calm, more feeling that it is okay, that you can handle the stress, the situation, the discomfort of someone else without making it some kind of a rejection feeling. So that's just an example of a different way. And what I invite you to do, maybe you have an example, a recent example of a situation where you have been feeling like that, to do, to approach it in both ways. To first look only at the facts and then try to add the way you felt inside to the facts. And that's something you have to look for a little bit because you are not normally directly in contact with this feeling. But if you break into pieces what happened and you say, how did I really feel? How did I really feel in that situation? When I saw him marching, for instance, what happened inside of me? You can go back and feeling, wow, that was scary. I got so scared. I know the person, I trust the person, could even be a friend, but in that moment, seeing that energy in him, I got scared. Maybe you can even realize why you get so scared if people march like that. Maybe you got scared in the past and you remained vulnerable for that. Or maybe when you were talked to in a certain way, it may have triggered a kind of a rejection feeling. Maybe there is a vulnerability that if there is something that is not a full-blown compliment, that you really easily feel rejected. And you may want to look into that because, of course, it's not objectively, it's not that you are rejected every time that you don't get a compliment. And this is something you can find out a lot just by doing this exercise, taking a situation, describing it as factual, and then adding the way you felt inside to the facts. Something else you can do is you can download a free meditation I put on my website. This is a meditation meant for you to get in contact with yourself and feel the empowerment and the self-confidence in you. doing the meditation, you can connect with that place from which you can feel more clearly how differently you would like to feel to approach certain situation. Then, of course, if you want to have some session about this, that's also possible. That was the video for today. As last, I'm going to share the information how you can download the free meditation I mentioned to www. It is all about life.eu/free, and how you can contact me if you have any more question about this topic, or if you have a topic you would like to hear about, or you would like me to talk about in a future video.